Hey guys, Dale Taylor here. So last week I talked about Copilot for Field Service and I showed you how that works inside of Outlook. This week I'm going to talk about the Field Service app that we can now use inside of Microsoft Teams, also part of that preview. There's a couple of things that need to be done by your administrator first. So the first thing that needs to be done is create user groups for your frontline workers and your frontline managers. And you can see here, this Microsoft Learn site actually has all of the steps on what you need to do, how to create the group, add members to the group, etc. So I'll actually drop the link to this particular website in the description of the video as well. After you've done that, you would also need to configure Viva connections, and you can do that, as you can see here, in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And again, just like with the other website, I will also drop this link in the description field of the video as well, so you can kind of follow those steps in order to get those prerequisites done. Now, once you've done that, you can start with adding the field service apps to Microsoft Teams. So let's go here to Microsoft Teams, and what you'll do is you'll click here on these three dots here, and then you can see it says search for apps. So I'm going to search for Field Service, and here you can see the Field Service preview app. So I'm going to click on that, click on add, and that will take me, as you can see here, to the Field Service app inside of Microsoft Teams. If you click on settings, this is actually where you can connect this to your Dynamics 365 environment, right? So you can just click on here and then you can select whichever. Let's just go and connect it to the 2023 Wave 2. You can connect it here to your environment. And once you've done that, it says here, return to Viva Connections dashboard. So when you click on that, you can see here, oh, it's going to take a second here, that is going to open the Viva Connections dashboard. Let's just give it a second. And here we go. So you can just click on Get Started. And then you can see there is not a lot on here. Now, the first thing that we need to do now is, again, from that admin perspective, right? So we're going to go to the Microsoft Teams Admin Center, and then we need to do a couple of things there. So here we are in the Teams Admin Center, and what we need to do is we're going to go to the Teams app area, as you can see over here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to set up policies, because there's something that we need to add here. So I'm just going to give it a second here, and obviously, right, you can create a policy for your frontline workers. You can see here I have a couple in here. I'm going to keep this simple. I'm just going to add this to the global org-wide policy. So I'm just going to go ahead and open that up. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to add that field service app, right? So I'm going to click on Add Apps, and I'm going to search for Field Service. Here it is. You're going to click on Add, and then I'm going to click on Add again. So that's pretty quick, right? So you're going to now see this Field Service preview below installed apps. Now, the other thing that we can do here is we can also add it to pinned apps, right? So I'm going to again click Add Apps. I'm going to click on Field Service, and I'm going to add that as well. And then you can move it up here, obviously, as well, if that's something that you wanted to do. Okay, and now the only thing I have to do is click Save, Confirm, and as you can see, my policy has been updated. Now, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to deploy And then we can also configure the field service preview for Viva connections. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to go and log into Microsoft App Stores, and then we're going to search for Dynamics 365 Field Service for Viva connections. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we are at Microsoft's App Stores, and as you can see, I've already logged in, so make sure you do that as well. Then I'm going to search for Field Service. Let's see here. And that is not it. Let me try again. Let's see if we can add the word preview. And this is it. This is Dynamics 365 Field Service for Viva Connection. So I'm going to click here on Get Now. And then it's just asking you to enter your information, and then you can click Get It Now. And that's just going to take a couple of seconds here. So this is taking us here to the SharePoint store, right? And this is where you can add it to the app site. So when you click on this, it's just going to validate this, right? The app gets data from SharePoint. You need to approve the API access after you enable this app, and this is really, really important to do that. And then you can just go ahead and select any of those and then click Add. So I'm just going to click on Add, and as you can see, it is in the process of adding this right now. And you notice here that in order to approve the access, I can actually do that directly by clicking on this Go to API Access page. And here you can see the API Access page. So let's give it a second while that loads. And here is, it's a little small, so let me make that a little bit bigger. And here you can see, right, this is the Dynamics 365 Field Service for Viva Connections preview. So you're just going to click on here, and then, of course, we got to approve that. So here you can see all the details. I'm going to click Approve, and that's that. That's all you had to do here. So here we are back in Microsoft Teams. I just refreshed it, and you can see that there's now actually something showing up on my dashboard, right? So the last step here is to add the field service cards to this Viva Connections dashboard. And you can do this by clicking on Edit over here. And as you can see, it's now preparing the editing experience. And then you can pick, right, what is going to be the primary audience for this. So we can say frontline workers or information workers, right? Let's say frontline workers. I'm going to continue. And now we can start to add some cards here, right? So I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to click here on Add Cards. And look, here are all the 4 different I was going to say work order cards, but I want to say field service cards, right? That we can now add. Now, what you'll probably do is, like, for the frontline workers, you will probably have the remote assist and the upcoming work order, right? Maybe even work orders assigned. What I'm going to do here in this demo, I'm just going to add all of them here so you can kind of see what that looks like. So let's add another one. Remote assist, sure, why not? Upcoming work order, and then there's one more work orders assigned. So this is kind of nice because this is kind of allowing you to see some of that information from field service directly here on Microsoft Teams. And obviously when you're using mobile, right, you're going to get a view like this. So my work orders all in one place, my remote assist, I can see here my upcoming work order, which starts in 1 hour. I can get the details of that. So we'll drill into that next, right? So let me just go back here to desktop. So let's talk about that first one, right? So here it says you have 48 unscheduled work orders and 2 in progress that are overdue. So this is just showing you the 50 work orders, if you have more in there, it's not going to show them. If I click here on see all, this is actually going to show me all of the work orders inside of Dynamics 365 Field Service. But before I can start clicking on this stuff, I need to publish this first, right? So I'm going to hit publish, and then now we're back in the dashboard. So, and here are those unscheduled work orders. So the other thing that I can do from here, like I said, I can click on see all, and that will allow me to view them inside of Microsoft Teams. And if I scroll all the way down, this is going to allow me to view all in Dynamics 365. Now, the other thing, oops, I wanted to show you, this is when, if you wanted to edit, let me just go ahead and copy this. If you wanted to edit a work order, you can just click on that, right? And then you can change the status, priorities. We can visit the schedule board. You can see here, right? Service accounts, work order type, incident type, etc. I still feel like there's a little bit missing here, which I already shared with Microsoft before, because, for example, the customer contact is not necessarily the contact on the work order. This is, again, the contact, the primary contact on the service account, right? So I'm kind of hoping that they're going to change that. The other thing that you'll notice is that there's the field that actually shows the location, right? Whether or not this is on site, at a facility, or all of those types of things is not showing on here either. So if you are utilizing resource groups where you want to be able to schedule, right, multiple resources at the same time, maybe even a facility, then we're going to need that field. So, and that kind of brings me to where we can create a new work order. So we'll get to that in a second. The other thing that you see here is the find by ID. And you're probably going to think like, okay, well, I can do star 556 and that will show me all the work orders, what like we're used to in Dynamics, right? By using that wildcard. Unfortunately not. I can also do 556 and that's not going to give me anything either. You do need to enter the entire work order number, right? So keep that in mind as well, that by just clicking part of the work order number, that's not going to find the work order for you. And then creating a new work order, right? We're going to be able to set the priorities, the service account. I'm not a big fan of this because, you know, if I select an incident type when I create a work order from within Dynamics, let's just say, I don't know, oops. Let's just do an alarm system installation. It would normally automatically populate my work order type, right? And it doesn't do that right now, as you can see. Also, when I selected my service account, my price list that's related to that service account also is not populated. So I'm not really liking that much. So I feel like that's kind of missing here. But again, this is just a preview, right? So this could be added at a later date. So I'm just going to say default price list. Oops, here. Put in the description my time promised from and to, and then I can just go ahead and save that work order. So that's really how easy that is, right? I can't do any scheduling as of yet from within Teams, but maybe that's going to come at a later date. But this is how easy it is to create those work orders, right? And here you can see successfully created the work order, and I can even open the schedule board from here. All right. So let's go back to that dashboard, right? So that was kind of watching and viewing all the work orders in one place. The remote assist, obviously, right? We can click on that and then immediately connect to somebody else, like an SME, right, through the remote assist app. So that's really what that is. Then the upcoming work order. Now I have a work order assigned to myself. That's why I'm seeing that here. Now I can do two things here. I can click on update status, and then I can pick any of those statuses. So let's say we're traveling, I can hit confirm, and I just updated the status on that work order. And again, you can see that it says now, okay, your status was successfully update it. Let's see what happens. See, now I have to navigate back to, there's no back button. I kind of don't like that either because now I have to navigate here again, but okay. The other thing I can do is I can click on details, and that's giving me some information here, right? I can see what the work order is. I can also go ahead and view it in Dynamics 365 Field Service, but this is giving me some limited details. The incident type, my start time, my duration, travel time, address, again, customer contact. So this is, again, the person that is set as the primary contact on this service account. I have a description. I have a list of tasks. I can't like check them off and say, yes, I did that. Yes, I did that. It's just showing me a list of tasks. It's showing me my products right over here. Again, I cannot click on used or consume from here. I can, however, again, open this, as you can see here in Dynamics 365, and that's exactly what it will do. Let me just go ahead and click on that. It's going to verify that link, and then it's going to open that in Dynamics 365 for Field Service. Let's give it a second here. Now, if you do this on the mobile application, it's going to do the same thing. It's not going to open this up in Field Service Mobile. Unfortunately, it's going to try to open this up in the web app. So keep that in mind, right? I don't think that's the best way to do this, but again, this is just first time, right? I would really like to see the actual booking to be opened versus the work order, and I would love that to happen in the actual Field Service app for mobile. And then we also see here the ability to change, right, that booking status. Another thing that I noticed, if I go here and I say in progress, if you do this on a Field Service mobile app, my actual arrival time, date and time, I should say, is being populated automatically, right? So again, not happening here, unfortunately. So I will have to manually enter that, put the time in, right, of the arrival, and then I can go ahead and save that information. All right. So that's what that is. Now, again, let's go back here to Viva Connections again. And then the last one is really all of the work orders that are assigned to me, right? All the bookings, I should say, that are assigned to me, because I actually have 2 bookings scheduled for myself. And if I click on that, that's going to show me the list of those work orders that I have bookings for, right? And then again, I can just go ahead and click here into those details. And again, I'm going to be able to view the booking details directly here from within Microsoft Teams. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another video again. Thanks for watching. Until next time.